Hello, this is David Waumsley. This video is on WP Admin Pages Pro, which as I'm recording this mid-March 2019 is a new premium plugin, one that I'm very excited about. I'm on their website now, and as it says here, it allows us to create custom admin pages using our favorite page builder. So in effect, it allows us to create a whole website in the back end of our WordPress installs, and in fact a dynamic website at that. It also allows us to add in custom content to existing admin pages in the back end. In some ways, this feels like a follow-on to a video I did about 2.5 years ago when I got very excited about what friends had done in terms of adding Beaver Builder templates to the dashboard of WordPress. I thought this really opened up opportunities to be able to leave support information for clients or to help with onboarding, but that was very restrictive. This is a much more advanced plugin. I can also see it being quite helpful to just organizations who perhaps just have one website, but they have changing staff and they need to leave their instructions on how to use the website there permanently. So to me, it just seems like something that always should have been around. So I'm very excited about this. Before I move on, I should just mention there are more page builders due to come. So at the moment, it is just working on Elementor Pro, not the free version. Same with Beaver Builder, you'll need to be on the paid version, so standard and above. It does work on the free version of Breezy. And as I've mentioned that this is a premium plugin, there is no free version. I should just show you the pricing table. Now, I got this a couple of weeks ago with a soft launch discount code. So I reached out, and that expired. I reached out to Arinder Dookie, who's the developer, who's a really lovely guy. And he gave me a 30% off discount code that I can share with you. There's no expiry on it at the moment. Maybe he will need to do that. But my guess is, as this is new, there's documentation to do that. He's certainly got some things that he plans to add on, and obviously the new page builders. My guess is that he will put the prices up because these seem to me too low, particularly with the 30% off. So I was interested in the lifetime deal because I want unlimited domains. He, according to this, is offering lifetime support and plugin updates, which just seems way too much, as if you take off a discount code, it's around $100. There is the yearly plan here as well, and we've also got, for those people who might just have 1 or 3 domains, they've got different packages here. Anyway, I'm going to come off camera now and just show you what I've been setting up, how I intend to use it, and just show you a few of the tips that I've picked up along the way. Before I move off this site, I'd better mention that Arinder has set up a live demo site. So if you click on this, it's going to open that up. It doesn't ask you for your email address. There's no waiting. You just need to answer this simple captcha question here. Click on the try the demo button and you are in, and it comes with the Breezy page builder plugin loaded, so you can try it out with that. What I should mention is that you don't need a page builder at all. You can just use the WordPress editor to create your pages if you like. So you might want to check this out instead of listening to me bumble through another video. There is also on the site another video by Arinder where he's talking through the interface. So I'm going to concentrate instead a little bit on how I'm using it, but I will also cover the interface. So let me go over to a dummy site that I've set up for Acme Designs. Now, typically with us, we want to onboard clients quite early on to get them into WordPress so they can start adding in their own media directly into the media library. I did some videos on how to kind of optimize those images so they can just throw stuff in without too much damage, and also to get them adding in into certain areas some of their copy so it gets us started. So I'm quite keen to get them in here, so I want some kind of onboarding early on. So I'm using what the Admin Pages Pro plugin allows us to do, and that is to add in page builder templates to both the top and the bottom of existing admin pages. So I'm doing that with the dashboard. So the first thing they're going to see is this welcome. And it was a very easy thing to also just add it in a short code into my template, into my header section here. So it would show the first name of the account holder. So it's going to be a personalized welcome. And I've also done the same in the text here. I've added this, so that's just taking the name that I've given to this WordPress install to add in their name. So they will just click through to the start here, which is going to take them to my first full admin page. And this is under my help desk. So this is my main menu item, and this is a sub menu which I've created, and it's all built with Beaver Builder. And so far everything I've used in terms of modules has worked perfectly well here. So you can see that I've got the countdown clock here. I'm not sure if I'm permanently going to keep that, but you know, it's added in videos, that these are embeds that I'm using here. And I've also tested it out with tabs and also the accordion, and I'm using that on the page, and everything seems to work well. I'm just mentioning this. Somebody did give feedback. They tried it out with Elementor and they said there were some modules but didn't specify what they were. That wasn't working so well, but I'm sure they will just get sorted out over time. So that's really my page here. My getting started page will probably have permanent videos. I tend to use Cloud app, but I could easily be using YouTube with an unlisted video and placing those. That's going to be permanent content. I'll probably, with my template, because it's fairly easy to just go to the template and personalize it, I will add in personal next steps for that particular client. And that's pretty much all there is on that page. My main page is my help desk one, where I'm going to have these permanent ways of finding information from here. Now, I have made the mistake in the past when I used to do some early white labeling of removing too much stuff or adding stuff for clients that needed to change over time, or I removed things that would confuse the client because they would go and Google things about WordPress and find it wasn't there in their install. So I've been cautious on this. So this is a fairly simple setup. I've just got here a external link going to a page on our site which has some updated videos and resources, and then I've got another link which goes to another submenu which is my resources. So what that page is, and I'll show you in a minute, is a kind of list of the videos and answers to questions that will come up during our build days. So it's a permanent record, so that will be a permanent page. And what I've also done here is given some links to other pages on our site, the terms and the blog, also our Facebook group and Asana, which we use for our project management. And I also wanted to remind folks that we do other stuff other than just build out sites. And finally, there is just the contact form here, which in this case is just the Beaver Builder contact module, and it works perfectly fine. I've tested it a number of times. So that is that. Let me go over to the My Resources page. It's pretty much the same thing. I'm just leaving this as a template. I shall be adding in their own custom videos as I go. And here I've used the accordion module to just lay out a dummy place for some of these questions that might come up. So there's a nice space there. And that's pretty much it. The last thing just to mention here is that you can, with Admin Pages Pro, set up external links, and I've done that. So this is just going to open up a tab to our own website here. So that's permanently there. What I really like about all of this is that I can assign any of these pages to a particular role. So if I wanted to, I could just have this whole section just showing for admins. In fact, I think I've done that. And then I could have something entirely different for anybody below that, or just for, I don't know, writers if I want some videos for them. So you can give an entirely different experience with this. You can also add in on a page-by-page basis JavaScript and CSS. And in fact, I'm using it here. If we're on any other admin page, we'd normally get here the screens options. I've hidden that with CSS on all of my custom pages on an individual basis. I've also removed the WordPress footer as well from these. So let me just go to my blog post that I've set up, because this will remind me what I need to cover. I think I've probably covered all the things that I like about this. I will just mention that it it took me about half a second to make the decision I was going to buy this when I first saw it coming out. Not only because it was something I needed, but because it was by Arinder Dookie, and I've admired what he's been doing with his other main plugin, which is WP Ultimo, which is a plugin that allows you to create your own Wix, if you like, or Weebly Squarespace using WordPress multi-sites, and it will take all those kind of payments. And this plugin itself comes directly from that. I don't think if you own WP Ultimo, in fact I tried it, you can't take that one out and use it as a standalone, but I've no problem with that. I want to use it as a standalone, but it is and comes out of that. But this also works on multi-site as well, so the Ultimo one works with the multi-site, of course, and this does too. So that's really why I like this. I just like the way that community is going and the work that's been done on that plugin. I've shown you how I'm using it, and I've just put in here my templates. I'm not sure if I'm happy with the design yet, but I'm probably going to start the first ones off like that. So the things to be aware of with this product is that, well, it's new, so it's not likely to be perfect, but so far it's worked as I've expected it. I've hinted that prices may go up, but this is just my own thoughts on it. Something that you really do need to know about, it's very easy to make your own page builder templates and just assign those to the admin pages, but what you do need to know is that it's kind of working in the same way that you do with the front end. A lot of your styling is defined by your theme, and when you place them in the dashboard, it's going to inherit the dashboard styling as well. So typically you'll need to do more overwriting than you would normally do because you're moving these to the dashboard. So that's sometimes at the level of the element itself. So in my case, I wanted my own font to show through on all of the headers, so I needed to individually set those on each header to make sure that they did show and didn't show the default admin style for that. But I mean, this I think is the right way that it should work anyway, because you might want to match the look of your pages to the admin backend, so it's quicker to do that. Also, something I'll just mention here that you'll want to make sure that you look into locking down the system for clients. Now, there's an easy way. Let me just go over here to just turn off admin pages so you can see them here. Everyone can see them. You can turn this off by unticking this, and it was going to disappear from the back end when this refreshes. The only problem with that is that clients can go back to screen options and tick it back on, and I'm just going to do that. And at the moment, I don't know if this is going to change, it does give you access to your account, so you probably don't want them to have that. Fortunately, there is a snippet, and you just need to add that to your functions PHP file in your child theme, and I've included it on the bottom here. I'm sure it's somewhere on the website as well where I got it from initially. So you can add that in, and it doesn't as such remove this, but it just means that if they do anything with it, it's not going to make any difference at all. It's going to remain hidden. Okay, so let's just go back. What else do we need to be aware of? Yes. This is something, and it may vary from page builder to page builder, but if you create your page builder templates, of course, they're going to be accessible as well. So if you're someone like me who encourages clients to go and select templates, that might not be such a good thing. But there is a kind of way of hiding it at the moment, which I've found, and I don't know if this is going to work for all. Generally, if I'm instructing clients where to go and find the templates, I'm going to show them the front end view. And what I've discovered, if I just go over to my templates here, if I put those templates into draft, they're not going to show on the front end, so a client's not going to see them. But because we're logged in, the draft version is still going to show through on the admin pages, as you've seen. So that's a nice little sort of way around that, at least on Beaver Builder. So let's just go on to my tips. Let me just have a look. I've mentioned this. Here's the short codes that you might want to use to personalize the content. You may also wish to add in a little Unicode at the moment for external links, which I've done, as you can see over here. So I've got that. Let me go over to the admin pages and we'll go into this. I'll just quickly mention that. So here is our page for external links, so you can see what's going on and the rules allowed from here. Going to go in and edit this one, and it's going to open up the interface. So I added this here so it would show. Now what you do when you want an external link, it's pretty clear here. You create that page, you add it here, you add your link, you decide whether it's going to open in a new tab, and you need a menu label for it. I did experiment with adding dash icons because the part of WordPress couldn't get that to work, neither with Font Awesome. So maybe these things will change, but you might want to do that at the moment. So that's my little tip on that. There is something which I know is going to be addressed, so you will only need this tip if you're using this like I am as one of the early adopters. There's no way as such to reorganize the sub-menus. Now I'm kind of jumping ahead a little bit here because I haven't shown you how to do the main menus, but let me just show you here. These are being published in the order that they were last published, so it's pretty much the same as blog posts. The last one goes to the top. Now there is a quick way of moving these around. You just need to update any of the pages without making any changes, and they're going to move into the position. So you could just move those around, but I think a fix is coming for that, and you'll be able to kind of set these in the interface somewhere, but it's just not there at the moment. And let me just have a look. Yes, and here's just a little tip on here that I've used a permanent sort of slug name. You can set up your own slug names for any of your pages, so I wanted that to be meaningful, and I've just taken the link where I'm linking from one page to another without adding in the domain. So when I export those templates to use somewhere else, it's just going to work wherever, whatever site I'm going to set that up. And I've also mentioned that I've used CSS to hide the screen options, I think, and that's just done with this little snippet of CSS as well. The only issue I think I found with this in my case is that on one of the modules, I think it was the accordion module, I needed to set CSS for the content font style. So that's maybe one issue that needs addressing on that, but it wasn't a big deal. So let me go and just take a quick look at the interface. I think it becomes fairly obvious. You can get to any of these sections actually when you're in the pages themselves. So if I go into the help desk here, and if we look down here, we've got a way to get to that particular page. As you can see here, this is already set up. If it's a new one, we would just add in our title and select what we're going to use. It allows me to select any of the available templates I've got here. Now, interestingly, because I've already set this up to put my templates in drafts, they are not showing up here. So if you create them first while you're working with it, you might not want to put them in draft, so they're available for you to select here. Just a little thing there, and that's it. Or you can go here and be led straight to your template section to create another one, or you can, even when you've created one, you can go in and edit that from here. Let me just show you this. So you get an overlay and it brings in the template itself, and that's my template for this, as you can see here. And I can just go and start editing, and I can just update the whole thing from the page there. Okay, and one thing I'm to mention here on your options when you go in, I decided to use the natural page margins that I set. As you can see in the interface here, we've got the gray at the back here, and I did that largely because when you're moving around here, there's a little bit of gray, and I didn't want my pages to be full width, but you might want it to be so you would just untick that. I did want to remove the page title from all of my pages because that's there by default, and that is pretty much it. And here is the section where you can set your permissions. As I mentioned, I've set that just for administrators here. We can add a separator to separate out the content here. We can decide which menu order we're going to have in any of these. Obviously it doesn't add the order at the moment, as I mentioned, for this, but that's come in, and we can add in whatever admin menu icon we want, which I think is all of the icons that are available as dash icons by WordPress, and we can just find that by clicking along here. And that's pretty much it. I think there's my CSS, and there's where I've also set the font size as well on this particular page. Okay, I think that's probably enough for me. You'll be able to work out the rest for yourself. I really look forward to any feedback on this, and for you to share with me as well how you might want to use it. I think it opens up a lot of possibilities. Anyway, if you did like this video, as always, please give me a thumbs up, because it encourages me to do more of these, and perhaps consider subscribing to the channel as well. Oh, I forgot to mention on the blog post is the discount that I mentioned, which is 30% off, and it is David30. Just enter that at checkout. I have used my affiliate links. I hope that doesn't matter. If not, I will just provide in the YouTube video the direct link to it as well. Okay, thank you very much for listening. I hope you have a great day, and talk to you soon. Bye bye.